Hello students, this is Dr. Ranjini, Assistant Professor in Biotechnology. Welcome to e-learning sessions in plant, cell and tissue culture. Today in this session, we learn about somatic embryogenesis. Embryo is formed when male pronuclei fuses with a female pronuclei. This is called zygotic embryo. But under in vitro condition on the prepared media, when we inoculate the plant cells or the tissue, we'll find the development of embryo-like structures artificially on the surface of this callus or inoculated tissue. And these embryo-like structures, which are artificially induced under in vitro condition, are called as the embryoids. They are called as embryoids or somatic embryos. And the process is called as the somatic embryogenesis. The process is called as the somatic embryogenesis. Somatic embryogenesis was first induced in suspension culture by the scientist Stewart in 1958, and in callus culture of carrot was shown by the scientist Reinert. The first somatic embryogenesis was induced in suspension cell culture by Stewart. Later, by using the callus culture, the scientist Reinert showed that somatic embryos could be induced under in vitro condition. The somatic embryos are having the advantages over zygotic embryos, or the process of somatic embryogenesis is having the advantage over the zygotic embryogenesis. Here, the process of embryogenesis can be easily monitored under in vitro condition. The environment and the development phase of the somatic embryo can be controlled either by the controlling the level of growth hormones in the media. At the same time, the large number of embryos can be easily obtained by somatic embryogenesis. So it is easily monitored, and the number of embryos what we get can be increased, and the development phase of the somatic embryo can be controlled by using various growth hormones. This somatic embryogenesis can be initiated in two ways. One, by inducing some embryogenic cells within the preformed callus, that is by the development of or through the stage of the development of the callus. So we are inducing the embryogenic cells in the callus. The another one is directly from the pre-embryonic determined cells or from the pre-embryonic determined cells directly. So somatic embryogenesis can be classified into two types. One is by inducing the embryogenic cells in the preformed callus, that is called as the indirect somatic embryogenesis. If the callus is developing the somatic embryos, then it is called as the indirect somatic embryogenesis. If it is directly obtained from the pre-embryonic determined cells, then it is called as the direct somatic embryogenesis. This is the diagram where it will depict the direct somatic embryogenesis and indirect somatic embryogenesis. Here, in the direct somatic embryogenesis, the somatic embryo formation takes place on the explant surface itself. Later, they germinate and develop into plantlets, or under in vitro condition, the small tissue culture regenerated plants will be obtained. Here, the preformed or the pre-embryonic determined cells will be developing into complete plant. But in case of the indirect somatic embryogenesis, here the explant will be inoculated on the media, and the explant, each cell will undergo repeated division, and they'll form the undifferentiated mass of cell that is called as the callus. So from the callus, we will get the embryo-like structures. They resemble the zygotic embryo. They are called as the somatic embryos. And each embryo later develop into complete plant. So this is the diagrammatic representation of two types of the somatic embryogenesis. In the indirect somatic embryogenesis, so this is the picture which will depict how this indirect somatic embryogenesis takes place. Here, the cell or the explant will be inoculated on the medium, and the cell division takes place in the presence of the plant tissue culture media under all the optimum condition, and it will form the cell clump, and that is called the callus. And now this callus will be sliced into smaller pieces and will be inoculated into the media, which is having the auxin, which will promote the initiation of the embryogenesis. Later, these induced cells will be transferred into the another media where it will not be having the auxin, will make the each induced cells, embryonic cells, to develop into the somatic embryos. Somatic embryos. Here, the composition of the plant tissue culture media play an important role in inducing the embryo-like structure. So in the initial, the first media, we will be having the plant tissue culture media, which will be supplemented with the auxin. Along with that, it will be having the sucrose also. Usually MS media will be taken, and along with that, the auxin will be added, and then the sucrose will be added. About 2 to 5% of sucrose will be added in the first media. Later in the second media, the same media will be used, but it will not be having the auxin. So this will promote each embryonic cell to develop into the somatic embryo or embryoids. And these somatic embryos will passes through the various stages how our zygotic embryo grows. So usually zygotic embryo development, if you see, you will see the globular stage, heart shape, torpedo stage, and finally it will develop into the plantlet. So all these stages we will witness even in the in vitro regeneration of the somatic embryo using the somatic tissue. So this somatic embryogenesis has the advantage over the zygotic embryo, as I told earlier. So this can be easily monitored, large number of embryos can be obtained, and here the development of the somatic embryo can be controlled. So these are the different stages of development of the somatic embryo under in vitro condition. If you observe that, we'll see the 4 phases. The cell become competent in the presence of the auxin, and it will induce the development of the embryonic cell. So these competent cells have the ability to develop the somatic embryos when auxin is removed from the medium. And rapid cell division occurs in the cell clusters, leading to the formation of the globular stage of the somatic embryos. And later they mature and they develop into the small plantlet. So it will be having the induction of the embryogenic cells and the development of the embryogenic cells through the various stages of the embryo development, globular, heart-shaped, like that. And later they mature and develop into complete plant. So these 4 stages will be seen during the in vitro method of somatic embryogenesis. So if you see the stages of somatic embryo development, just like our zygotic embryo, here also we'll see the circular globular shaped embryos which are developed here. So this stage is globular stage, and later that will develop into heart shape. That will be developed into heart shape. So globular embryo will convert into heart shape, and later they show the cotyledonary stage, just like the zygotic embryo, and finally that will show the torpedo shape. So they mature and they develop into complete plant. And these somatic embryos, they are very important, and you can control the growth as well as the development for the large number of the embryos. If you see the differences between the zygotic embryos and the somatic embryos, somatic embryogenesis is an inductive process. We are inducing the development of the somatic embryos, and can takes place without the involvement of the fertilization of the male pronuclei and the female pronuclei, that is the gametic fusion. So without the gametic fusion, we are inducing the embryos on the explant or on the surface of the callus. The another difference is early divisions do not follow the sequence in somatic embryos, and the suspensor is absent in somatic embryos. Somatic embryos do not become dormant, just like our the zygotic embryo, which undergoes dormancy for long period. So that will vary from one type of the plant to another type. And here in somatic embryogenesis, they lack the endosperm differentiation in somatic embryos. The another difference is there is no vascular connection in somatic embryo. Unlike the zygotic embryo, somatic embryos often show secondary embryogenesis, and their development is asynchronous. So when you isolate the embryo in a suspension, you will get all the four types of the embryos. It's not synchronous development. You cannot predict the embryo is in globular stage, a heart shape, or all the embryos are in quaternary stages, because it is asynchronous. Zygotic embryos are usually diploid. Zygotic embryos are diploid because there is fusion of the gametes. But the somatic embryos may be haploid, diploid, or triploid. So that is the difference between the zygotic embryo and the somatic embryo. Next is the applications of somatic embryogenesis. The first one is large scale propagation. Depending on the plant species, the unlimited numbers of embryos can be generated from single piece of explant. The scientist Drew, in 1980 estimated that 1 liter of a carrot suspension culture, 1 liter of carrot suspension culture showed the presence of 1.35 millions of somatic embryos. In 1 liter of carrot suspension, he showed 1.35 million somatic embryos. So, thus, in comparison with our conventional propagation methods, the and other in vitro regeneration method, somatic embryos offer better potential for large scale production of the embryos. So, thus, it helps in large scale propagation. Somatic embryogenesis provides a means to in vitro selection of the plantlets. And in addition, this will provide the source of tissue for genetic transformation. And there is generation of all plants from single cells like protoplast. So if you want to regenerate the complete plant, you need not to take only the explant having the few cells. You can also regenerate the complete plant by taking the single cell like the protoplast. And this is a source of it will provide the tissue for the germplasm conservation, and this is having the application in the development of synthetic seed. So you'll be learning about the preparation of synthetic seed, what are synthetic seed, how they are advantageous over the normal seeds which are produced during the conventional growth of the plant in the coming session. So in this session, you learnt about what is somatic embryogenesis, types of somatic embryogenesis, the advantages of somatic embryogenesis over the zygotic embryo formation, and the differences between somatic embryo and the zygotic embryo, and the process of somatic embryogenesis. And we also learnt about the applications of somatic embryogenesis. I hope you understood this session. Thank you.